The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, also affectionately known as the 5 Cs, is implementing USAID's Climate Change Adaptation Program, or CCAP, in the Eastern and Southern Caribbean.
The fundamental role of our center is to provide the knowledge base for decision making for climate change adaptation.
In November 2019, the 5 Cs met with stakeholders and members of the Project Advisory Committee of the USAID Climate Change Program to review the progress and achievements to date.
The PAC, the Program Advisory Committee, provides us the opportunity to interface with our partners, those who are directly involved in implementation, those who are on the periphery, but climate change, because it's everyone's business. So it gives us the opportunity to share our experiences, to see where this is going, what we have done so far, what the successes are, what possibly the gaps are, and how they can all contribute to filling in those gaps and move or advance the work of the CCAP.
The primary focus of the USAID CCAP program is to enhance the data collection capacity of the Eastern Caribbean states to improve the quality of data used for decision making and to use that data to garner international finance to support adaptation efforts in the region.
These different activities, hence in the CCAP project, we have the first component, which basically is strengthening our ability to collect data, which we desperately need to feed into our models. That's the very basis of our work.
It's so that whatever we do it with a little bit more confidence, so that the decisions that we make is not based on guesstimates, but on scientific fact.
One of the vital components of the Climate Change Adaptation Program included the installation of automatic weather stations.
We installed 50 automatic weather stations, enhancing the network of automatic weather stations across the region.
The 50 automatic weather stations will expand the capabilities for the collection of hydrological, meteorological, and Caribbean climate change data. These stations have been incorporated into the existing network of climate monitoring stations in the region and integrated into a global network in collaboration with the US-based National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA.
One of the things that the data from these stations will do is augment the existing data. Data being a cornerstone of building resilience, because it provides the evidence, and the second part, it provides an input to the processes that lead to designing better, building back better. And so the data supports that aspect. The data also supports things like model validation. It also supports looking at how the climate is changing across the region.
Another vital data collection component of the 5 Cs and USAID's CCAP program included the installation of several coral reef early warning systems.
There were 5 cruise stations, the coral reef early warning system stations, that were installed in countries with coral reefs. So these were Antigua, Barbados, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent Grenadines, and Grenada. They're expensive pieces of equipment, and it's part of a broader network which is managed by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Agency, NOAA, from the US, who manages the global network of cruise stations. We call them cruise stations, the coral reef early warning system stations all over the region, and primarily put in place to provide early warning on environmental conditions that may be detrimental to coral reefs.
Another addition to the data collection resources, and perhaps the single most valuable aspect of the CCAP program, was the 5 Cs acquisition of LiDAR survey equipment to be permanently based in the region.
Under the CCAP project, we were able to convince the U.S. Agency for International Development that one of the major contributions they can make was to afford us the ability to do that type of survey. And so with that, it was included in the program. So we have now the capacity to do airborne LiDAR surveys.
LiDAR, which stands for Light Detection and Ranging, is a remote sensing method that uses light in the form of a pulsed laser to measure variable distances to objects on the ground. These light pulses, combined with other data recorded by the airborne system, generate precise three-dimensional information. Topographic LiDAR typically uses a near-infrared laser to map the land, while bathymetric LiDAR uses water-penetrating green light to measure the seafloor and riverbed characteristics. LiDAR systems allow scientists and mapping professionals to examine both natural and man-made environments with accuracy, precision, and flexibility.
So in my mind, that is one of the major accomplishments under this program.
This investment and support from USAID-funded Climate Change Adaptation Program will help the Caribbean region combat the effects of global climate change. And even though the CCAP officially ends in June of 2020, all the vital equipment acquired and installed through the program will continue to function and provide crucial climate change data for many years to come.